Democracy, often hailed as the pinnacle of human governance. It promises freedom, representation, and power to the people. But what if I told you that democracy, unchecked, has an inherent tendency to lead to tyranny? That what starts as a noble pursuit of liberty can devolve into chaos, and from that chaos, a dictator often emerges? Stay with me as we explore this provocative and unsettling reality. Let's start with why democracy is so widely praised. It gives people a voice, protects individual rights, and prevents authoritarian rule, or so we think. From ancient Athens to modern liberal democracies, the principle of majority rule has been seen as the best way to balance power. But is that balance sustainable? One of the earliest and most famous critiques of democracy comes from the philosopher Plato. In the Republic, he warns that democracy is inherently unstable. Why? Because when the masses gain too much power, they inevitably descend into disorder. Plato argued that democracy, by its nature, prioritizes short-term desires over long-term stability. The people, driven by emotion rather than reason, elect leaders who make grand promises. Eventually, the demands of the people become so extreme that the system collapses into anarchy. And from anarchy, a savior emerges, a ruler who promises to restore order, often at the cost of freedom. This isn't just theoretical. History offers chilling examples. Let's take a look at a few. Ancient Rome had a republic, similar in some ways to modern democracies. But over time, democratic excesses led to civil strife. Politicians pandered to the masses with extravagant promises, corruption soared, and eventually, Julius Caesar declared himself dictator for life. The Roman Republic was no more. Fast forward to the 20th century. After World War I, Germany established the Weimar Republic, a democracy that aimed to bring freedom and representation. But economic crises, political polarization, and weak leadership led to chaos. The people, desperate for stability, turned to Adolf Hitler, who used democratic means to rise to power, only to dismantle democracy entirely. More recently, Venezuela provides another example. Once a thriving democracy, it fell into economic and political turmoil as leaders like Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro used populism to gain power. Over time, constitutional freedoms eroded, and the country descended into authoritarianism. Are we seeing similar trends today? Many modern democracies are experiencing extreme polarization, economic instability, and mass discontent. Leaders exploit populist sentiments, promising everything to everyone. Social media amplifies emotions, dividing people further. Could this be a prelude to something darker? Key warning signs: polarization. Citizens become divided into extreme ideological camps, making compromise impossible. Populism. Leaders rise by making unrealistic promises to the masses, often blaming elites or minority groups. Erosion of institutions. Laws and constitutions are slowly undermined to centralize power. Economic collapse. Financial crises fuel desperation, making citizens willing to trade freedom for stability. Why does democracy often lead to tyranny? Psychology gives us some clues. The human mind craves stability. In uncertain times, people are willing to sacrifice freedoms for a sense of security. This is known as crisis psychology. Leaders exploit these fears, presenting themselves as the only solution. Psychological triggers: fear and uncertainty. Economic downturns, terrorism, or pandemics create instability. Groupthink. People conform to majority opinions, even when they are irrational. The strong leader illusion. When democracies appear weak, the masses support a single, dominant leader to restore order. So, is democracy doomed to always end in tyranny? Not necessarily. The key is balance. Strong institutions, constitutional limits, and a well-educated public can slow democracies' descent into chaos. But history warns us. If we ignore the warning signs, tyranny may not be far away. Ways to safeguard democracy. Education. An informed citizenry is less likely to fall for manipulative leaders. Decentralization. Power should be distributed across multiple branches to prevent dictatorship. Transparency. Government actions must be held accountable by the press and public. Civic engagement. People must actively participate in governance beyond just voting. What do you think? Is democracy on a dangerous path? Can it be saved? Or is it destined to collapse into tyranny? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you found this video thought-provoking, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.